Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Akakodash. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles at Great Millstone. Salutation to you, Archean, pushing this word in sincerity and truth. This is your brother Yasab back at you with another quick lesson willing to edify. So basically this one is actually going into continuously keeping more or less continuously keeping connection with the brotherhood, because that is always a plus, right? And especially this time that we're living in, every brother has within in the body, every brother has that brother or one or two brothers that the whole more dearest to them, that the more know on a personal level and whatnot, that they hang out regularly with, break bread, study together, whatnot, So basically this lesson going into, we have to continuously be in that connection with each other, right? Especially these times that we're living in, because we know that Satan, he has a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. And especially in this time here, you can't really try to come now and be a part in this truth, and you don't want to affiliate with brothers, you don't want to fellowship, you don't want to, because that is very important. And then if now you're not really fellowshipping, you're not really dealing with no brothers, you might be going through stuff, you might even be going off, but there wouldn't be no one to correct you, no one to even lift you up and give you words of inspiration, because it is important that, because here it is, let's get into the scripture, Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verses 9. It says, two are better than one. Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. Yeah, because when you actually even studying, right, you and an ex-brother studying, he may notice things, he may notice something that you might not pick up on, or you may notice something that he didn't, he maybe just flew it over, because we know, the scriptures, we could never finish fully, we could never finish, have all the full understanding of the Bible, in a sense of, you're always learning a new precept, you're always learning a new precept, you're always getting a understanding, because there's many books and there's many, more or less, you can never stop learning this thing, right? You can never stop learning this. And so verse 10, it says, for if they fall, and this is the point here, if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for who hath not another to help him up? Yeah, and this is very important, because we know there's a lot of spiritual attacks brothers is actually gaining this timing, and also, things actually turning up, and the scriptures say to comfort one another with these words. Reason why it said that is because at times you do tend to get, depressed, because this place here is just so pressure upon Jacob, you do tend to feel, depressed in this type of system, right? And sometimes all a brother need is just, our next brother to come and uplift him with the words to continue, that is not to give up. And basically when we do videos and we preach and whatnot, and even exhortations, is for each other, because that is how the body works. Because the scripture talk about not every member going and have the same function, right? And the scripture say the body have many members. Right. First Corinthians 12:12. For as the body is one, yes, because we come under the same, understanding. Yes, we all under the same understanding, and when you really actually look at it, right? Because this whole First Corinthians chapter 12, it goes into speaking of spiritual gifts and whatnot, right? Because within the body, there's a brother who good at breakdowns, because there's many different camps. And, when you look at the body, not everyone, maybe like has the same gifts. You would call it spiritual gifts, because it has some brothers who are very good at breakdowns. It has some brothers that good at speaking tongues, other different languages. Some brothers good at going down into the words and going back into the Latin and in the Greek to get the full understanding, So and on the next aspect, some brothers, they have more spirit of charity upon them. Some brothers have a more spirit of, being zealous for the word, and that is just how it is, Yeah. Right? Because although we is our body, many different members, right? Yeah, so I'll jump down to verses 15, right? Verse 14. It says, for the body is not one member, but many. Because there's a reason why the Lord structured it so. Because it is all for edification, right? The Lord has different portions of the Spirit upon, each and every other brother. So, and that is where we all come in as one together, because, where a man's weak point is, there's a brother that is his strong point. And he would come now and be able to advise you and uplift you and, uplift you in the spirit. And be able to mold you and make you better. Because that's what the whole body is about. It says, if the foot shall say, because I am not the hand, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body? But if the ear shall say, because I am not the eye, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body? If the whole body were an eye, where were the hearing? If the whole were hearing, where were the smelling? But now at Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua set members, every one of them in the body, as it had pleased him. Right? Yeah. So that is why he had to put, brothers with various different, strong points and whatnot. Right? Because that will make up the body strong. As I mentioned, some brothers good in the Hebrew, some brothers strong pointed, going into breakdowns, some good at milk, some, and the list goes on. That is why he even say, not all is going to be teachers. Because he say, some he appointed apostles. Let me see if I get that. Here, 1 Corinthians 12:28. It says, and Yahweh had set some in the church, first apostles, secondarily prophets, thirdly teachers. After, let me see. Right. Ephesians 4:11 is the correct precept. Right. It says, and he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and some teachers for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Yahushua Mashiach, till we all come in the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of a Mashiach. Yeah, because not every you meet a camp and everybody's apostles, you know, everybody's bishops. No, the Lord appoint, you know. Yeah, because hey, there's order in this thing. Right? Well, let me just stray from the topic too much. Let me get the book of Sirach. Right, Sirach 37:12. It says, but be continually with a godly man, who thou knowest, to keep the commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, whose mind is according to thy mind. You know, because this is an important part of, you know, having, you know, the connection with the brotherhood, you know, whatnot. Because, you know, you could end up in a low situation, you know, and as your brother now who would be able to pull you out of that situation, and he also know what you're going through because, you know, he in the same fight, right? It says, whose mind is according to thy mind, and will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry. Yeah, because these drakes in the world, they think about themselves. You know, a brother will come out and still try to help you. You know? Yeah, a brother who upon the same path as you, you wouldn't look at your struggle. You know, and this here is where rebuke and reproof and these things come from, because the Lord would use your own brother to rebuke you and set you up on the right path. Because the scripture talks about to restore. Right. Galatians 6:1. Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such as one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted. Going straight back to if he is alone in the Ecclesiastes 4 and 10, where it say, for if they fall, the one will fill up his fellow. And that is it, you know. You see your brother constantly with you, you know. You been together and a man might go off on something sometime. A man might, you know, say something wrong as meaning that, you know, he might break down something wrong, or he might even be doing something wrong that you're not fully aware of it. You will be able to come out and say, well, hey brother, it's not so, you know. Sometimes he might know something and that is something off, and you could pull him up, you could, and that is what it is about. Because if he alone, he would be he wouldn't have the help, he wouldn't have the the iron sharpening iron, because the scripture speaks of, an iron sharpening iron. I'm gonna get that. And I'll get back the Galatians. Right? Iron sharpened iron, so a man sharpened the countenance of his friend. Yeah, because when you all together, when you and a brother together, you always speaking of the scriptures, you always, talking something spiritual, Yeah, but when you're alone, and you're amongst them of your own household, and you're amongst Jakes in the world, you're not hearing nothing spiritual coming from them, because they're spiritually dead, they're spiritually discerned, right? So let me get back the Galatians 6:1. Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such as one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted. Yeah, so your brother would restore back unto you that which is spiritual. Yeah, well, just a quick one. There's many other precepts. The scripture saying, Hebrews, not forsaking the assembly and these things, let brotherly love continue. Hebrews Hebrews 10:25. It says, not forsaking of ourselves together, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as ye see the day approaching. And this is it, because in this time here, brothers need to be more tight with each other, right? Brothers really need to be more tight with each other, especially as we see the day approaching. Right, because the scripture even talk about a brother being a cold glass of water in that time, in Jacob's trouble when thing hit the fan, and hopefully this lesson was edifying. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Until the next one, Shalom.